Welcome to the Soft Vikings, a quest for meaning, purpose, and loyalty. I'm John, the lost son.
I'm Eric, the tyrannical father.
Yeah, welcome this morning.
Thank you.
We are newbies at this. we are beginners in the podcasting.
Yeah, but
Sphere, and we're learning, doing our mistakes.
beginner's bliss or beginner's curse, or I don't know, but it's good to be a beginner.
I think that's something we
Actually, we always have beginners.
I think that's something we probably share. Is actually it's okay to be a beginner because it's fun to learn new things,
Yeah.
and then you have to appreciate being a noob, very poor at. Yeah, it's okay to suck, basically.
Yes, but I always, but I also like to be, the guy that knows things, and because as a tyrant, you have to have some leverage, right? So if you're always a beginner and always,
You can suck, but nobody can say so.
that's the, yeah,
Get it?
like Kim Il Jong, like
Yeah.
he has the world record in all sports.
I think I don't know. Was it 7 or 8 hole in ones?
Yes.
Like insane.
Yes,
Like no way.
Yeah.
First time he played.
First time, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah. First time he never
Yeah.
played golf.
Yeah.
So that's when you know you reached the level. When,
Yes.
when you can when people have to affirm whatever you say.
Yeah.
Then you're the tyrant.
Then you're the real tyrant. So I'm just a small player in that game, but
You have ambitions.
I have ambitions.
Make
But I like new things.
Norway great again.
Yes.
Make it like North Korea.
Yes, that's what I'm doing in sports, because if you good at something, uh, like I was like very good in skiing, right? Like in cross country skiing, I went all to these races and blah blah, and then I was like more than around 55, because they had these veteran races, and but then you are on the falling curve, because then you know your level, or you know your best level when you were
You're not gonna beat your own record.
anymore. And then the trick is to do something else, because it's not so motivating to see that you're on a falling curve, and then you can do something totally new and build up and get a new personal record because you've never been there before. So that's the way I'm doing it. Try to switch what you're doing, switch to new things.
Make new goals.
Yes.
Basically.
Yes.
That's important.
Yeah.
To not cling to some old idea. Being the best skier or something.
Yeah,
At some point you gotta...
it's all about who you compare to, of course. But if you compare to yourself and had this, high level, then it's difficult, because you feel,
Yeah,
I'm getting old. Okay,
that's the why it's hard to become the world champion. It's even harder to stay there.
yeah, and I think it's also hard to have been a world champion.
Yeah, I think that's
handle
easily overlooked.
The time after. I saw this. We have many good athletes in Norway. That's something we should talk about. I mean, these days we are like in top of mostly male athletes in the world top. There is some females also, but
I wouldn't know. I don't pay attention. I'm sorry. I'm sure they're great. I just don't pay too much attention to sports.
To sports at all, or to female sport?
But it's mostly like what gets the most attention is like the most famous male athletes, because that's
most spectacular. I mean, they have the records there, the strongest there, the fastest.
it's like
they have
if you're gonna watch Who's fastest? You wanna watch who's actually the fastest?
Yes.
Not
But I can really enjoy women's sports also. But you know,
sure.
but some women's sports, it's not like I've like football, women
Yeah, we don't
football.
have to dwell into it, but
No,
like exactly like your female soccer or football. It's in Norway they've been pushing it
yes,
like
so
an
hard.
agenda.
Yes,
Like let's give that as much airtime
possible,
as possible.
and people don't show up.
I mean it's that's just how it is.
Yes,
They're just they're good at what they play, but you know what? I talked to someone about it, and what they should have done is to
smaller
make,
field,
yep, make it like
too much space.
20-30% smaller, the goal,
Yes,
everything,
yes,
and then it would be exciting.
yes,
But it's just too big, so
yes.
it becomes like,
Clumsy. It looks clumsy.
yeah, because you compare it to the guys, and you
Yes.
just see they can't really kick that far, so
No.
it makes it less exciting.
No, I think the best woman team is like boys 16 are beating them.
Yeah, of course.
The
Yeah,
average boys 16 team.
but on the other flip side,
Yes.
female handball is more exciting to watch because there the
because
court is too small for the guys.
yes,
It's just
I'm
too
a
small.
handball player, and when I watch the guys now, it's like it looks like a guy, you know, a muscle guy in a small dress.
Yeah,
It
it's
looks
the
strange.
court is
It's
too small.
Too small. But
They
for the
should have actually
women's,
made
they
that
are
bigger.
really, you know, yeah. It's I like woman handball
there
actually
we go.
more than male handball.
I think it's more interesting to watch
Yes,
as a sport. So
yes.
there's like structures, and
Yes.
then you can adapt, and sport can be interesting. All this gender, we're gonna get back to that one day. I'm sure the gender thing.
It's
It's a
interesting times. All those crazy people are
It's I was
at top.
at the Youngstorget last night, and of course on Venstres hus. It's a political party,
Yes,
the left
liberal
party,
party.
liberal.
Yes,
They had a big banner
yes.
saying trans women are women.
Trans women are women.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which
they're
is
trans women.
are women, which is such a illogical statement because that's like saying trans black is white. It's like,
Yes.
what do you mean? Why do you even say trans?
So
We're gonna not go there today.
interesting rabbit hole.
We have many rabbit holes to come,
We are not afraid of anything.
but today we're gonna
today-
do the extroversion,
Yes.
and could probably start off by defining.
Yeah, extroversion. It's extroversion, introversion. There is some basic misunderstandings around that, I think, because basically, or if you're an introvert,
Introversion,
introverse person, introvert,
extrovert, introvert
person, uh, it doesn't mean that you are not able to socialize or that you're a loner or that you know, it means that you get a lot of energy or you can, you know, restore your batteries by being alone.
Yeah, exactly.
And on the opposite side, if you're extrovert, you feed on that and you get energy and by being around other people.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but
Do you get energy from being in a crowd?
yes,
Maybe or not.
but you were labeled very much introvert and shy.
Yeah, when I was young, that was a label that a lot of, at least family, put on me. I got labeled
My
introvert,
sister,
extrovert.
like
No,
very
she
quick out with
she just
labels.
she kept doing that until I was quite old. She kept saying it.
Was that to protect you or
Shy
to
and,
put you
introvert.
down? How did you feel about that label?
Well, I I tended to believe it for a good time, good while, because in some way the introvert part is not too far off because I do enjoy being by myself, And
Yeah, and you when you were younger, and you were very quiet,
yeah,
and you could
quiet.
yes,
But shyness and being quiet can look like the same thing.
yeah, yeah,
It
yeah,
doesn't mean. But I think I also
quiet and thoughtful.
some yeah. And there's like a good old adverb from the Vikings. You have two ears and one mouth. So
I guess that's
use them accordingly here.
I think that's in all religions or all cultures.
Yeah, but that's the point. And if you're gonna listen, you can't speak.
No, that's
Uh,
so basic but so easy to forget.
exactly. And not only speak, but your inner voice, your inner monologue can't be. If you're really gonna listen, you can't have your own thoughts rambling around, because I think m- a big mistake and a big hurdle a lot of people have when it comes to listening is that they maybe listen for a couple of seconds and then they get a thought or idea of something they like to say themselves, and
Or a
then they,
feeling.
or a feeling, and then they just think about what they're gonna say.
Yeah, they can.
Just kind of wait for their opportunity to cut you off.
Attention are drifting towards that instead of keeping the attention on what the other person are saying.
Mhm. Indeed, and that I think that's also why podcasts are such a great tool, because there you kind of forced to listen, because you can't. Well, you can pause it, but you can't interrupt. That's
No,
impossible.
depends because
You can shout at the podcast.
no, but if the traditional like TV debate between politicans, that's just screaming.
Well, that's the time constraint is so short that yeah, you
Yes,
just
so
put out your message.
so you're not supposed to listen in a way. You're just supposed to try to hammer in some points.
That's the
So you
debate.
have to listen in a way to in a in
Just enough.
a debate because that's a technique, right? To find out where the weak points are and then march in with your arguments or your
The whole-
statements.
That's it. Yeah, exactly. And the debate thing, and it's a bit silly because you don't really have so much of it here in Norway, but like in the US, for example, this debate teams, they have like competition,
Yes,
and then of course you figure out the rules on how it's scored, and the end of the story is that now the teams are, as long as you just put out more arguments than they can
absorb.
oppose,
Yes.
you win.
Hmm.
So that's why they talk so extremely fast.
Yes.
It's not any thought, it's just like let's throw out like 10 arguments in 30 seconds and your turn. And if you can't answer them all of the 10, you lose.
So that's why the podcast and especially long format
Yeah.
has a super potential in it. Also, when it comes to political discussions and understanding, but most
Yeah.
political actors they don't like to show up in long form podcasts.
I think that's changing in many ways. The new
Because they
ones
have
are
to.
because you have to. That's
Yes.
where the audience is
Yes.
more and more. And the, like you talked about now, the like the TV style studio debate, and you have it lasts, the whole thing lasts for 10 minutes, and it's like six people.
And
You
it
get
only
20
feeds
seconds.
to the most animal side of your brain. It's like
It's like who shouts the best slogan,
yes,
and that's it.
yes,
That's all that is written about after too. It's like one sentence. So it's
yes.
kind of catered to the media of old, of like the newspaper headline said this, no more. And it's
But there's a hope.
boring.
There's a hope. There's always a hope.
It's coming, and I think
Yeah, I saw that. But in Norway, we have. I see that there are some political actors that dare to go to some of the podcasters. Not many.
I think they probably in the end
They have
all
to.
have to,
Yes.
because then why didn't you?
Yes, I
And-
hope that will build up.
And that's a way to
But
build some trust.
the traditional media is still, accepting that they don't say so much.
It's their format.
Yes.
They can't say we have an open-ended show tonight. Let's see how many hours. It's not in their, not in the media, not in the medium. It's not graded that way. It's commercial time. It's break time. It's so. This is why podcast is a very cool and free medium, because it says whatever you like. How long do you want it to go?
Yes.
5 minutes, 5 hours. You choose.
And hopefully it can be aired on platforms without censorship.
Yeah, that's a challenge. There are a few.
Yeah.
There are a few, but in a way, you can. There's not really the censorship, which is more in the shape of they say you can't make money. They demonetize you, right?
Yeah.
That's mainly the way they do it.
Of
And
course, if people want to find you, they can find you. If they like, no, okay, the Soft Vikings, where can I find them?
make a website,
Yes, and then you can be there.
softvikings.com. by the
Yes, yeah,
way. It's probably pretty blank
yes,
as we speak, but
yes,
it will be something there.
yeah. And then you have also some other smaller platforms where they are like let everybody say whatever they want with all the problems that's built into that. But the
Yeah, we
big
can-
platforms like YouTube and also I don't know Spotify's rules.
Yeah, they do some. I mean, there's some limitation of free speech. I think we both agree that we're pretty high on the openness. So then you're like, free speech is great. Say whatever you want.
Yes.
Because I like to say
Yes.
whatever I want.
Yeah, I know.
It's like
I'm
whatever.
fair-minded, so what goes for me goes for you.
Yeah, and
Same rules.
and the extroversion as well. It's I think we can do the score maybe.
Yeah, I
before we go
just
on.
yeah, but one more thing about introversion, extroversion. I mean, if you're low, here it's high and low. They don't really say use introversion in
They actually
in
do.
this test.
They do say introversion here.
Okay,
So,
but
yeah.
if you are introvert, you're very often come through as reserved and calm and
Yeah.
quiet. So those three things were very, when you were younger, like that's the way you come over the table with as reserved and calm and quiet,
Mhm.
thoughtful. So, but you learned that you are higher on extroversion than it looked from the outside.
Than I thought myself
Yes,
for
then
a
you
long
took.
time,
That's very interesting.
because I got labeled so many times that
Yes.
I kind of and I in part believed it, and in part it's a role to fill.
Yeah, I think the latest is more relevant that you found out that that is a way to maneuver in the little chaotic environment you were raised in.
Yeah, I think that was some played a big part. Is that if it's a lot of moving parts in your environment, it's
Smart to sit still.
probably better off just not. Yeah, just
Not add to the
don't add.
chaos.
Yeah, it's hard to predict what's
Yes.
gonna happen.
Yes.
So, but that has a great gift of. Um, I mean, the power of the introverts is usually exactly that they have been listening.
Yes.
So introverts is usually an overlooked resource in many working situations, because they are much more, they're like the balanced force here. Like, we listened, actually we've been observing you for a while now. That kind of way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
you
that's
just,
all about how it fits to the other traits, of course.
this is the case, of course. And
But the extrovert person, there's like sounds more positive, right? Because they're usually enthusiastic, they excitable, friendly,
sure, it's also been like the
energic.
golden standard of how we're supposed to be,
Yep, the
especially
American way.
from the American
Yes,
culture.
yes. Everybody, oh great, yeah, you can do it. You go out, throw a speech.
And by
You
that
know,
standard, most Norwegians are like introverts, cave dwellers, because
yeah.
they're not really that
No,
out.
that outgoing. That's not in the culture. We are
No,
like we are a reserved culture. We are like, okay,
not raised that way.
oh, let's see what you come with. Okay, calculates it. And,
Yeah, it's the janteloven.
yes,
Then you are too much. Then we gotta
uh,
calm down, sir.
yeah, calm down.
Sit
Yeah,
down.
yeah,
Shut up.
shadow, and that's why we have scoring very high on the Gini coefficient. That we are very. We don't really have. Uh, huge differences in our society between people.
Yeah, it's quite equal.
I think one of the most equal places on earth, depends on how you measure it, of course, but if you measure it with like observable criteria, economy, school, healthcare,
Yeah, but it
etc.
helps. It's a semi-socialist state, which it is.
It is.
That's what does it in many ways. But you also have the inheritance from the Viking Age, which
Yes.
is small communities, few people. We need everybody
Yeah.
to have their role and
So we
pull
have
their
to
weight.
find out
Yeah,
what everybody can do, how each
everybody has
individual
value.
can contribute.
Exactly, and as a small, if you have less people, everybody becomes have their inherent value,
Yes, of course.
because you're needed,
Yep.
and that still
Then you
lingers.
cannot do the Russian way of warfare, just throw body
Well,
on
then it's
every
a
problem.
different kind of game.
Yeah, because
You
they have a lot
find
of
the best
bodies.
ones,
Yes.
or it doesn't really matter.
Do it with volume.
Yeah,
See if they can pull it off this time with that tactics. That's not like a Putin tactic. They always done that.
well, then you have to have the volume, and I think
Yeah,
that's
they're starting to getting shorter on that. It's they're only 150 millions, and their demography is sinking in a way that means that their population are shrinking.
yeah. This is like
The soldier material, that age group is also not. It's not like a endless well anymore. So
the
it's very
Peter
limited.
Seitan talking point there.
Yes.
They are at the last years of
Generation.
having enough
Yes.
young people
Yes.
to
So if they don't pull it out now, they will be,
you have
paralyzed for a
smaller
generation. Then they have to ask the guys to stop drinking and
but that takes time. But I don't know that he's very confident in his opinions. But
Yeah.
how
We
about
haven't
the other
checked.
side? If they also have fewer,
Yeah.
kind of doesn't that
Yeah.
balance out the
No, demography
equation?
is becoming a more important issue, at least because it looks like um,
So it's gonna be good times to be an introvert.
yes,
No people.
no people.
Get used to it. No, it's the
But this with environments and all the problems with growth and capitalism and everything, there's always been this notion that there is limits, of course, limit to growth, limit to everything, which it is. Uh, but We are now how many people? 8 billions?
Mm-hmm.
And most predictions are saying that we will peak on 9, maybe 10, and then shrink.
Mm-hmm.
But if you put all the humans that's alive today and just stand side by side, they all fit into Los Angeles City.
Yeah.
So we have space.
Yeah. We don't really live that way though, but
No.
that,
Yeah, we do more and more. We
yeah.
live in cities.
That's true. And that's the way we've been able to have so many people.
Yeah, but so if you look like on the map, the most square meters on the surface of Earth is without people.
Well, the limit here is food, basically, isn't it?
Yeah,
Mostly.
energy.
Yeah. Which is energy.
Yes.
So if you have,
But as long as the sun is shining, we should be able to extract energy from it one way or
in
another.
principle, you can just stack in the vertical.
Yes.
And you can have as many as you like.
Yes.
It's just a matter of technology there. We'll see how many we get. People have had strange predictions. One of the best ones was that before the automobile came out and became like mainstream, they were saying, oh, now we are at the limit of how many people we can have in a city.
Yep.
Like New York, for example, New York City. They had some millions there. And there was so much horseshit flying around.
Yes.
That they created disease. And we said, like, we can't have much more horseshit here.
No.
We're going to be buried.
Yes.
So we can't be any more people. And then new tech, the automobile came. And it was the salvation of health and cleanliness and environment.
Yeah. No, that.
So there we go.
I don't know if introversion, extroversion are correlated or to optimistic, pessimistic, basic worldview. But I
don't think so. It's more like, do you enjoy living in the city?
Yes.
Do you want to go back to Mumbai? If you're an introvert, that's a no.
Mumbai is also a city, my friend.
So many people.
Yes.
I think so. So to like the definition here is like, do you derive energy from being around people, or do you get depleted? Do you need to be alone to get energy? And I think everybody has some a little bit of both.
Yes, of course. And the other thing is that it's easy to get wrong of the category because you can be shy even if you're extrovert. Shyness is something else.
Exactly. So a lot of people who get labeled shy are maybe just introvert.
Yes.
Or the other way.
Yes.
Maybe not introvert, but just shy.
Yes.
So like you said, you're probably extroverted but shy.
Yes. That's
so that's an interesting combination in many ways, because then you are you enjoy something. People. It's like a bit of it's some kind of.
I think it depends on the setting. It's like if I feel comfortable or safe or something, but that goes with everybody. I guess that it's easier than to come out and be talkative and be enthusiastic but I can also speak for like 1,000 people.
But that's not the that's a different kind. Then there are a group.
Yes.
Which is a very interesting thing, that like 10 people is
that's hard.
Then that's 10 individuals.
Yes.
100 is one.
Yes.
Because they kind of morph.
Yeah, I learned that. I worked with a guy that were like this big communicator.
So that's weird. Yes. So this like less than 10 is hard, but more is easier.
Yeah, but when you have a crowd, the crowd is you have some power because in a way they are afraid of you or looking up to you, and you can play with that.
Yeah, it's a different dynamic.
Yes.
Than the round table.
Yes.
Of your peers or something.
Okay, a lot of bullshit today. The science of extroversion. We have walked a little through that, but the scores. Give us the scores. What do you
Well,
fucking score, John?
so average of the average of population on this
Yes,
test
yes,
is 51%.
51%. Always the average is some in the middle here.
Yeah, but that kind of makes sense, or else
Yes,
it
of
would be
course.
a bit of a strange scale.
Yes,
Yeah, so 51,
yes,
it's a normal score.
yeah. And
And
yours?
mine is 87.5.
Oh wow! And you have been labeled as introvert,
Mislabeled. We could
mislabeled.
pretty much
Poor
agree.
guy.
Yeah, well, um,
Oh, it's other traits and other circumstances, I guess, that you were like protecting yourself or.
yeah, there was other factors. However, it's like
So we shouldn't, deep dive too much into one each of the traits, I guess, because they can be a little misleading. But anyway, we
yeah,
do it.
you're not just one thing.
No.
Of course, you are a person. So this is one metric. But yeah, so that's a high score. Especially if you thought I was like had a low score, then the difference is huge.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. You're really on the extreme extroversion high end.
Yeah, but for me personally, I'm more of enjoying a one-on-one setting like we have now, for example. I
Yeah.
enjoy that more than
Yes.
if it's a 50 people. I don't. That's not. I don't enjoy that as much.
Neither do I.
But you can't talk to. Then you talk to a group. So we talked about that a little bit. So but I enjoy talking to people a lot.
Yes.
That's the point. I do find that very satisfying.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
we were like, my score is 77%.
Yeah, it's a high.
So
high
that's
score.
also high. And it's like, I love people. I love talking to people. I love being around people. But I'm also a little, I don't know how to put it, but I'm easily bored by.
Yeah, that's a different kind of thing, I think.
Yes.
And like this beautiful paper says, the fundamental basis of extroversion is to experience positive emotions. So in the way of how you outlook, and I think I am happy to have the high extroversion in that sense. That it takes a lot to kind of bring me down.
To knock you out.
Yeah, I kind of, or if I get knocked out, I'm quite capable of quickly looking at the positive side, even of a shitty thing. Like, okay, yeah, that's shitty. However, there is some positive here, and to be able to kind of focus on that, even in the worst situations, there is at least something to learn, for example, which is a positive.
Yeah, I am also having a positive outlook on life very much. I have like on daily basis, like angst, existential angst that comes to me like in the gray hours of the morning. I'm an early bird, but like when I go up, it's like
Well, that's the traumas, the
yes,
demons.
yes, and they're there, and I've worked and found the methods to live with them and dance with them, not suppressing them, but not letting them take full control or holding me back or down. But they're there always, and maybe it's a good thing.
That's the extroversion right there.
Yes,
Trying to find the silver lining.
yes,
And I guess that's why it's such a culturally valuable trait that you want to have extroverted people. They're
Yes.
kind of easier to deal with if you think of them as a group.
But you don't
They
want
look
them
at the,
to sit on the red button to,
maybe not.
to push in. Then
But
you want some people that thinks a little and look a little gloomy and why should we do that? And maybe this is not a good idea and hold back here. And so building teams and, creating businesses, then these introvert guys are super valuable and often neglected.
Yeah, well, they won't show up for the meeting. So it's kind of easy to not see them.
Yeah.
They're home
Yeah, they're home.
office.
Yeah.
So
They
that this is
disappeared by the corona
it's always been the
lockdowns.
problem of the
Nobody
intro.
has seen them after that.
So like, how are we gonna
Where
get what you say if you
almost
don't
gone.
say anything?
Yes.
Yeah, this is the issue.
Yes. And then maybe, these teams and, that type of meeting, net-based meetings, then what the introvert guys really disappear.
Just yeah,
Yeah, because you don't have their energy in the room anymore. So that's
Yeah. And there you go. I think you're onto something important that an introvert maybe not say something, but they have a presence.
yeah.
And can be very like
Yeah.
calm energy.
Yeah, stabilizing the situation, and especially if you know their value.
Yes, that's probably important.
Yes,
That I guess that's the challenge for like if you're really high on introversion is to establish your value,
yes,
because if you don't have a structure or a boss or a company that actually know how to look for it, you might get overlooked.
yes.
And, you don't take credit when it's not yours, for sure. You're not going to say, "Yeah,
Yes.
I did a great job," right?
Yeah.
That good old switcheroo, like
Yeah.
teamwork, me work,
Yeah.
and that's like some extroverts might be more adapted to kind of I led the group
They're
and
better
I
in
get the credit.
marketing.
Yeah, and probably leaders are more likely you want an extrovert because you need
Yeah,
the positive
the positive
energy
is,
to like
yes, the
get it going.
communicating skill. I don't know skill, but you're more, you know, willing to share.
So your team leader, you probably don't put the one that's the most introverted to lead the thing. It doesn't make sense.
He should be your sidekick.
Yeah, he's your right hand man.
Yes, yeah.
The silent guy, and
Yes.
if you fuck up, he's gonna take you behind the shed,
Yeah.
teach you something.
Watch this silent guy
Like,
behind there.
yeah. You need that guy.
Oh, fuck.
He's paying attention.
Yes,
You
he's
can't fool him.
get everything with him. It's like,
So I think that's something I really want to pick your brain about more. Is, you know, like team building and how to create companies. It's a lot of people skills involved. How to build a good team.
yeah.
And I'm sure you failed sometimes too. And
I'm
have learned
failing
lessons.
that every day.
Yeah, it's an ongoing.
Yeah, ongoing disaster, rolling shit show.
Rolling shit show. Never ending
Never
shit show.
ending, yes. So I just have to compensate with all the other things.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's not too. Yeah, so that's your lesson. It's difficult.
yeah, it's difficult and it's painstaking because you do mistakes all the time, but it's also uh, very beautiful because when you succeed and people are like growing or becoming fulfilling themselves or get out their potential, it's the most rewarding thing to be part of. So I really enjoy that.
Yeah.
And since I'm not so good at it, I'm still on a learning curve. That's why I'm sitting here also.
Yeah.
To try out that.
So, yeah. So good to have a low expectation, like a really low starting point. You have a room to improve. I think that's a overlooked i- premise in life. People tend to oversell themselves, and it's way better to undersell and say, "I probably suck at this."
Yes, and it's also in all aspects of life to have moderate expectations, or
Yeah,
expectation in itself is a curse, because it
yeah,
in a way blocks you from seeing the situation as it actually is, and
yeah.
accept it as it
Could
is.
could be incorrect, and then
Yes.
it's doesn't help.
No, and if you come with high expectation, you're most probably gonna be disappointed,
Definitely.
and then you miss everything out, even if it could be a beautiful things happening.
Have a high anticipation but
Yes.
low expectation. I think that's the golden
That's the
golden
golden
way,
rule.
because the most derived joy of any action, usually, or anything, is the anticipation.
Yes.
I mean, the time before it happens,
Yeah. The build up.
the build up, the
Yeah.
anticipation is
Yes.
usually greater fun, and like
Oh,
neurochemically, you're rewarded then,
back
not
in the
after.
days, when you have to seduce your woman, it was a saying, all seduction starts with the ankle.
Yeah,
And then,
the anticipation.
yeah,
Yeah,
and then I think
kind of goes downhill
the
from there.
woman, yeah, or uphill.
Yeah.
I think the woman's sexuality is it's more like this anticipation that is you have to build up, and this all this slowly building up the tension, or
Yeah,
instead of
that
just bang.
that actually goes both ways, but
Yes.
men are in general a little more eager,
simple creatures.
a little more eager.
Yes,
So, and it's easier to tell,
yes, yeah.
which with women
Yeah, they
can be much more tricky if you don't know what
the
you're looking for.
signs, red
So,
cheeks.
so we're gonna have a series on those things
Yes.
one day. I think
How
that's
to
a
seduce.
that's highly demanded area of knowledge and actually some
Today,
guidance.
people don't know how to meet anymore and how to date. It's because
How to seduce,
yes,
and you gotta actually meet them
yes,
to do that.
yes. That's another thing.
And that ties very nicely in with the extroversion thing, is that it's not only it's also something that needs to be practiced to be enjoyable. So say you are a bit shy socially, that can be overcome through experience.
Yep.
So then you become less shy, because like there is no. I think shyness and like the perception of danger is very linked. That like if I'm comfortable in this setting, I'm
Yes.
less shy, because danger, threats. Um, but then you actually have to be in the real world and deal with people, not on a screen, not Teams or social media. It doesn't give you the social training needed, actually, which is weird.
That
They
is weird.
they labeled it the opposite,
Yes. The
which is
social
also
media.
always the smart thing to do.
Yeah, smart. Good marketing, guys.
The you value for your money thing.
Yes. Yes.
Give me your money.
Yes.
It's always the best.
Yes.
Just label
So
the
it's-
opposite.
It's anti-social media.
I actually tend to say it like that to people
Yes.
now.
Yeah.
It's why are you on anti-social media?
Yes.
Because that makes more.
Yeah, I was driving down to the office or to the studio this morning, and I saw 15 people walking,
Mhm.
11 of them walking with
Like that. Yeah.
their face in the mobile. 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. It starts then.
Okay.
It's an
I don't know how long it will take until we adapt to this technology and get a more healthy
will come along.
handle on it. Yeah, I guess so.
It's gonna take a few more years probably.
A lot of
They're gonna
collateral
say
damage. A lot of people.
There's gonna be no No phones in schools.
Yeah, they have a
etc.
pushback now.
At work,
Yeah.
probably. You'll say
Well, no phones.
no social media at work.
No, but it's hard to control
Yeah,
it.
now it is. But
Yeah, you're in front of the screen.
well,
You have
I
to
mean,
measure the output.
sure, but it becomes more of a cultural thing.
Yes.
That oh, silly you. Why are you doing that?
Yeah, I'm trying to build up my new business based on physical presence, you know.
And
Because-
it's so much more rewarding.
Yeah, at least for me, I do it for.
Yeah, there you go.
Maybe
But
I
think
don't make that much
that's-
money,
that-
but
that-
it's more fun.
Good start.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
if
much
you
more
don't
fun.
enjoy it, why would anyone else?
No.
Right?
So we try to combine office, bar, gallery, showrooms.
It's very exciting, and I had the working environment before where I worked online,
Yes.
and it's very isolating.
Yeah.
And you have to put in a lot of effort to do the opposite,
Yes.
and that's not easy. It's good to have colleagues and a place you enjoy to go to socially.
Yes.
And I think we're gonna do the finished extroversion, and as it says at the end here, social rewards very important. If
Yes.
you're high on extroversion.
Yes.
You can go the extra mile to you will arrange the party. You will like to do things to be with other people you enjoy hanging out with, so on.
So
That kind of leads us to the end of this episode, and next time we're gonna do the agreeableness.
wow, that's gonna be
That's
exciting.
always the good one.
Yes.
That's maybe where we differ the most.
Yes.
Not to spoil too much. But
No, but
yeah,
yeah, that's the
and yeah,
forecast.
looking forward to talking about that and how that happened.
How that has played out.
Yeah,
Yes.
because I don't think you are as disagreeable as you like to think
Okay.
all the time. It's a lot of shyness
Shit.
and traumas
Yes.
there
Yeah.
from
Fuck.
protection.
I thought this series was about
Feels.
getting you in shape and
Yeah.
fix your life.
It was like a workout podcast.
Yeah.
It's like fitness.
Yeah, fitness.
Eat your veggies and
Yes.
push-ups,
Yes.
son.
Yeah,
But it could be that too, and
okay.
we will have that later.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, thank you for
Enjoy.
today.
Thank
Next
you.
time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.